Starting out RuneScape can be complicated. In this series we'll be going over everything you need to know to start out your adventure. From useful links to interfaces, settings and skills, this will be your ultimate guide to starting out one of the best games ever created. And in this episode... Hey guys, my name is RSWiki here and today we're going to be kicking off the new series on my channel, the Ultimate Starter's Guide to RuneScape. In this series, I'll be focusing on different aspects of RuneScape. Fortunately, in the first episode, something outside of RuneScape, we'll get into it in a second, that you need to know when you're starting out playing RuneScape as a completely new player or someone who hasn't played the game in such a long time that it pretty much is a new game to you. So, yet again, I'd like to emphasize this is for complete noobs, people who've never played the game. If you've been playing for the last few months, years, whatever, you might think these videos are, you know, a bit, I don't know, like, why are you explaining this? But I just want to get someone who's never played the game all the tools that they need to enjoy one of, in my opinion, the best games ever created and one of the most fun games when you finally get into it. So you might learn a thing or two if you stick around and you're a long-time player, but as I said, just so I don't get comments like, oh dude, these things are obvious. Yes, they're obvious to you, but to someone who's new to the game, they're not. In this first episode, we're going to be focusing on useful links. And I hate that I need to make this as a first episode. It's something I talked about in my quality of life video. If you want to check that out, it's on my channel. But I don't think there should be too many resources outside of the game. Everything should be in the game. But unfortunately, that is not the case. So let's just get into it. So, you are new to the game. You have been looking at the RuneScape wiki page for the last like 2 minutes or something whilst I was rambling. You're probably wondering, why are we on a wiki? Because for a lot of games, a wiki pretty much is just a collection of information and lore on characters. So a lot of people that play other video games know of wikis to be, you know, wikis, like information about characters. Why should I care about, you know, the lore of a character? I just want to play the game. The RuneScape wiki, however, is a lot different, and I'm going to be showing you some things that you can find on the wiki and why it's such a useful resource when you start playing out RuneScape. One of the most important things I think a lot of RuneScape players use the wiki for are quests. So if I type in Dragon Slayer, which is one of the quests that is, you know, I would say it's such a good goal to go for as a new player. Goals are going to be a different episode as well, but it is a very good goal. So as you can see, if you scroll down, you can see everything you need. So if you click on quests and on show, you see that, oh, well, I need 33 quest points. Well, if you want to know what quest points are, you click on quest points and you have an explanation of what quest points are. All the information you ever need about this game is found on the wiki. A lot of it is told in the game as well, but a lot of it also is told on the wiki. As you can see, it also shows you all the items that you need, all the items that are required, and also all the items that are recommended. This is probably the most important part, because sometimes quest guides in RuneScape itself, when you just go to the quest tab, which we'll get into in a later episode as well, they will show you what you will need item-wise, especially the free-to-play quests do, but member quest, not so much. But they definitely do not show you recommended items. And why this is so important is because it's very painful, especially when you're early on in the game and you don't have that many teleports or you're not that familiar with moving around quickly throughout the game. Backtracking and having to go to a bank and go back to where the quest was and finding your way back can be very, very difficult. So it's a very good resource to use it for that. But also, let's say you see someone wandering around with a mithril plate body. You're just like, yo, that mithril plate body, that looks sick. So, well, you look it up on the wiki. There's also a wiki button in the game which you can click on, and it will also bring you to this wiki page. It will also just pop you out, but I would just recommend, especially if you have 2 monitors, just have it on your second monitor. If you don't, just alt tap it. It's fine. So you can see what how you can smith it, for example. Oh, actually, you know what? You can actually get a mithril plate body +2. You can upgrade it. So, you know, you find everything out and then you're just like, oh, okay, I need a smithing level of 30 to make it. Okay, that's cool. I need 5 mithril bars and it will give me 5,000 experience. Okay, cool. Well, actually, hold up. Here I can see even more information about the products that I need. So, you know, needed for a mithril armor stand as well. So see, like, as you can see everything. You can see what monsters it drops, you can see where you can buy them, you can literally get all the information you would ever need on an item, on a quest, on a location. So for example, type in Varrock, which is a location in RuneScape, you can see, oh, okay, here's a bit of the lore, economy, politics, military, religion, culture. Like, that is the things you usually find on a wiki in normal video games or other video games. But you know, you can also find, okay, here are the entrances. There, what are the shops in Varrock? Oh wow, these are all the shops in Varrock. Okay, well, what can I buy at Loewy's Archery Emporium? And then you will get, you know, referred to the main article, and you can see everything you can buy there. So my point pretty much is, I think you get the gist of it. This is just the best resource to find anything and everything you need on RuneScape. It also has something else, which is the last thing I want to show you. For example, fire making calculator. If you ever want to like calculate how much experience you need, for example, using bonfires, to your next level. So for example, my level is 99 and I would like to go to level 102. Skills only go up to 99, but they're virtual levels. Don't worry, we'll get into it. If you click on submit, you can see how many logs you need and how much it's gonna cost you, and how much profit or how much money it is per XP. I mean, fire making, you're literally burning logs, so it's always a loss. So this will always consist of losses, but usually with other skills, you see like profits and losses. Fire making might not be the best example, but I think you get the gist. So if you ever want to calculate, oh, how many logs do I need for my next level? So if I want to get that level, I need 64,000 regular logs. So that is pretty much everything you can find in the wiki. Also, when there are new updates, for example, we recently got the Heads Oasis, you can go to the wiki and, you know, read everything of the new update. So the wiki is just an amazing place. So enough on the wiki, we're going to the next resource that I think is useful for the game. That is RSPocketbook. RSPocketbook is a very useful resource, which I think is a bit more advanced, especially when you go into things. But this is pretty much everything you need to know about combat. Combat is very difficult and overwhelming, and everything in RuneScape just gets to you when it comes to combat. Combat is a lot, and we'll be going over combat in a separate episode as well, so don't worry about it. You won't need this now. I will refer back to the RuneScape Pocketbook, but I thought I would just quickly show you it in this episode, in case, you know, you might already understand the basics, but you would still like some useful links. So the RSPocketbook, which, by the way, all these links will be in the description, so you won't have to find it, but I mean, you can see it on screen anyway, is pretty much everything you need to know about combat. So for example, you want to know about armor. Okay, so you have Slayer, which is a skill, player versus monster, for power armor, so like the most damage, and you have tanks and shields and gloves and boots and specialty armor. Or, you know what, you're wondering, I use range, so what are the best projectiles that I can use? Okay, let's go to range projectiles. So you scroll down and you get an introduction. So arrows and bolts are projectiles shot out of a ranged weapon. They're stored in the projectiles equipment slot on the player. Ranged ammunition can also be stored within the Terran quiver to gain a small prayer bonus from the quiver equipment slot. That's not important. So here you can see, oh, these are the absolute best bolts in the game. Okay, they might actually be very expensive as well, but over here you can just see the best bolts in the game. So pretty much these are the ones you want to be using. It just gives you very concise information on what you want to be using. This is all high level stuff, so I do want to clarify that as well. But if you go to something like combat tips, it has like tips like, oh, auto attacks. Okay, what are those? Weapons, two-handed. Like, this explains everything you need to know about combat, and like even gives you some, sequences you can use. And as I said, some of this can be very complicated. So definitely use it when you are more familiar with the game. And there's also something called the PVME Discord, which has like an upgrade order on what way you need to upgrade your gear and stuff, which I will also link in the description down below. But that is a lot of advanced stuff, but I just wanted to show you in case you wanted to read up on it. But as I said, it can be a bit complicated. So we can close that. Now we go to something called ALT1 or Rune apps. If you've played old school RuneScape before, or know about old school RuneScape. You know about third-party clients. This is the closest thing RuneScape 3 will get. This ALT1 Toolkit, which is actually allowed by Jagex, so don't worry, you can't get banned for using it. It pretty much helps you out with things. So for example, it has timers. It has, it can notify you with the AFK warden. So for example, in RuneScape, you log out after 5 minutes of doing nothing. So if you have the AFK warden active, you can set it so you get a notification like 30 seconds before you were supposed to log out. So for example, when you're AFKing, which pretty much means that, you have it on your second one, so you're not paying attention to it. For example, when you're woodcutting or burning logs or whatever, then you get a notification from the game, which you usually wouldn't get, that you need to move. And then you can be like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. There are also another useful things. You can look up high scores, you can look up other things, but the main thing people use it for is clue scrolls. Clue scrolls is an activity in the game that makes you a lot of money as well, and something I love to do on my Twitch channel, link in the description. And ALT1 really helps with it. So if you just need some extra resource or extra tools, go download ALT1 Toolkit. It is really, really useful. If you guys want, I can make a full episode on ALT1. If I would go over this now, it would be another 10 minutes or 50 minutes added to this video. And this video will be long anyway. So it's useful if you like RuneLite or if you've used OSBuddy or whatever in old school. This is probably a nice tool to have as well. So close that as well. As I said, all links will be in the description. So now we go to YouTube channels. Obviously, my YouTube channel will be a very good resource, but there are also other YouTubers that I'll be showing you. I'll be showing you mainly 2 of them because they're, I guess, the most beginner friendly, and those are Protoxx and Nuzz Nuzz. We'll go to Nuzz Nuzz in a second. Actually, why am I not subscribed to Protoxx? I am subscribed to my other channel, don't worry. But he pretty much updates everyone on what's going on in the news. Like for example, there's a new method for prayer training discovered yesterday. He uploads videos on it. And for example, Monday the Heads Oasis was introduced, so he made a video on the Heads Oasis. Protoxx explains things very well, and he has like beginner guides, but beginner guides not as in the sense how I'm making them with the assumption you've never played RuneScape, but more like, okay, you know what, you have like a base understanding of the game, so I'm gonna tell you like, okay, you know what, you have some gear, I'm gonna show you how you can kill, for example, Hellweir, which is a boss. His guides are really good. Links will be in the description down below. And if you want to, be up to date with what's going on in the RuneScape community, you're interested in, like, for example, how they revealed the drop rates for the new God Wars dungeon, which is bossing content, then, Protoxx is definitely your guy. And last but not least is Nuzz Nuzz. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. I think he's awesome. And he does a bit of the same content as Protoxx as well. But I think his content is, like, I think he explains it even better, and his content is like even more noob friendly. Like, he does a lot of money makers. He goes into some speculation videos. He will show you how you can become wealth without PVM. Like, he's pretty much like, this is not me saying that Protoxx is worse or that Nuzz Nuzz is better, but like Nuzz Nuzz kind of has like a different aspect. Like, he shows like a different aspect of the game as well. So I would really encourage you guys to subscribe to these 2 channels and go check them out. And obviously, you know what? Go to my channel as well. Go follow me. Go subscribe if you haven't done so already. But I think that will bring us to the end of the video. I know this is not really in-game content, and I know that this might be boring to some people, but we really, really need to go over these things because they're very important and they can save your life. So I will just call this episode 0 of the series. So next week we'll be going over all the settings you need to know in the next episode, which is going to be very, very important for your RuneScape experience. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new in this video. Let me know in the comment section down below if you did, if you like the concept of this idea. And also what kind of other episodes you will see. I have about 7 or 8 episodes planned, like settings, combat, ability bars, interfaces, bank, and a couple of other things. So yeah, we will be going over everything in the next episodes, like bit by bit. So I really, really hope it can help you out and it helps you out enjoy the game. I know it's a bit much, but trust me, it is worth it because RuneScape is probably one of the best experiences you will have. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really, really do appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next episodes, which will release next week. Thank you so much. My name is Chivalric, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.